Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a free-to-play game, yet most players competing at the highest level spend hundreds of dollars to play. The goal of this series is to get King of Games without spending a dime on the game. Welcome to Duel Links from Scratch. What's up guys, Zaid here, and welcome back to episode 4 of Duel Links from Scratch. Today's episode, I'm going to start off a little different. I typically will spend the gems that I've acquired since the last episode at the start of each episode. But episode 3, if you haven't watched it yet, go make sure you watch it before watching 4, obviously. But I talked about a lot of different cards and routes I was considering going for my purchases now that I'm done with the Harpy set. And I haven't uploaded that video at the time of recording this one. And I would like to wait for other people's feedback on the video before I go and invest. Because, like, you guys might have some ideas that I have overlooked, and I don't really want to go spend my gems on something that could be inadequate. So, to start this episode, we're going to go and look at a lot of the tickets that I have and exchange them for some upgrades or possible upgrades. This first ticket is a Ranked Duel SR ticket. I was looking at this one earlier, and I believe I already found what I wanted in it. There was an XYZ that I kind of like. Knight Popple Operative. This card takes 3 level 4s. Once per turn, detach one from this card. Gain 300 attack for each XYZ material attached to a monster on the field. So this goes up to 3,200 minimum. And if they have XYZs, it goes up even more. And I do sometimes in ranked have trouble. Like, I'll play against Blue Eyes, and they'll just put out monsters that I can't attack over. And so being able to just have a out in the extra deck to something big seems just more useful than whatever else I could hypothetically take from this. Only other cool card is like a Solemn Scolding, but I don't even need that, and I probably wouldn't play it anytime soon anyways, but the card is cool. So I'm going to lock in that XYZ, and let's see if there's any cool XYZs in this one. What was this ticket actually? This ticket is a KC GT 2021 Celebration super rare ticket. Glossy also. From this ticket, we're going to lock in another rank 4. Cat Girl Magician. This card is just 2 level 4s once per turn during your battle phase. Detach one material from this card. Have this card's attack until the end of this turn. Also, this card can attack your opponent directly. So this card could let us go for a game in scenarios where we wouldn't be able to close out the game. And again, there's nothing else that I really want out of these packs. Like, there's nothing that I would take for my main deck. So I might as well grab a card for the extra. I am going to double check these staples though. See if there are any staples, and it appears that there's not. So yeah, let's lock this in. Next we have another one of the same ticket, except this one's not glossy. But like I just said about the other one, there wasn't really much that I wanted out of this. So I don't really know what we're going to use this one on. I could take this Red Eyes Insight, because it searches a Red Eyes card, and I was thinking about buying the Red Eyes structure deck that has Red Eyes Fusion. But then I'd have to like play multiple Red Eyes cards, so I have one that I could send. And that just don't seem optimal. I'm actually going to grab a card that is not going to be played in my deck at all. But this card, Union Attack, is oftentimes used to make decks to farm character duels. And I'm sure that'll become something that we need to do later on in the account. So I'm going to lock this card in. Next, we have 2 SR Mission Circuit tickets. See what we can get with these. Looks like some more garbage available. I do kind of want to get Amazoness Swordswoman. I don't need it for anything right now, but I like the card personally. It's also good for your when you're doing stage missions. There's oftentimes ones that require doing burn damage, and this card is a good way to just get some burn damage in, because any damage they take fighting it. Oh, well, actually, the way it says your opponent takes all battle damage, it might not count as burn damage. It might count as battle damage. So scratch that part, but I do really like this card, so I might get it depending on what my other options are. And it looks like my other options aren't really much, to be honest. There's the Red Eyes Insight that I was saying I wanted, which I almost think the Red Eyes Insight is more likely to come up. So I think I'll grab those, actually. This is just a card I wouldn't mind having a playset of eventually, so I'm going to scoop the Red Eyes Insight. Next, we have a Mission Circuit Ultra Rare ticket, which could have some good loot. This is a card that I'm going to want in my collection eventually one day, but it's probably not what we take now unless there's literally just nothing else. Looks like there's like almost nothing in this that I want. Starlight Road is a cool one, but I don't think that there's many cards that proc its activation. But as we saw looking at the structure decks, we can get a Stardust, so there's that. So If I was to get that card, I could also confirm the Stardust in my extra deck. And I don't think that is going to matter right now, but I honestly think it's worth having in case it comes up in the future. So I'm going to confirm myself a Starlight Road. That seems like a fine card to get a playset of eventually. I can. Next, we're going to take a look at the skill ticket. Can I use this with my to get a Harpy's Hunting Ground? So I'm going to trade for that skill. Like, I didn't even have to look at the other skills. This is a really, really good one for playing a Harpy deck, of course. Lets you start with the field spell. So that could actually be huge. Like, anytime we go second against a back row deck now, it's just going to be over for them. Next, we have Mission Research Rare tickets. I have 8 of them, so I can get basically whatever the hell I want out of this pack. But there's a good chance there's not much that I want out of this pack. Rare packs tend to not have too much. I mean, the super and ultra rare packs barely have anything I want. So it doesn't look like there's going to be anything in this that's going to pertain to the deck we're currently playing. But there are a couple cards that I like that I just kind of want to own. One of which is going to be Fiend Griefing I'm going to grab a set of. This card could definitely matter in the future and is just worth having to me because of that. Next, there is, what's it called? I'm going to grab 2 more copies of Ben 10 because, like I said before, I don't just need cards for ranked. I also need cards that make my stage missions easier so that I can get more gems, so that I can buy more packs, so I get better cards for ranked. So what I'm going to do is get these so that when I have the stage mission to ritual summon X amount of times, it's a lot easier to do. I honestly, aside from that, I do not see anything else of like any value looking at this. If I'm missing something, guys, let me know, but I really don't see much value here. I kind of like this card. I'll go with one of these. It only let me do 6, which is weird because now I still have 2 more tickets, and I'm probably just going to finish off my playset of that spell card. Card's kind of cool. Actually, I'll grab 2 Feathers Rest. I'm never going to play 3 of this card, but I don't need those tickets, and I'm probably going to get more in my life. So here we got a common ticket. Common tickets are just doo-doo. Like, what am I going to grab? I've already got a playset of the Ojamas, and I got a playset of all the cards that look cool. You know what? I'll lock in a Skull Servant. 6 more rare tickets. I'm going to finish off my playset of Ruthless Denial. And then I'm also going to grab a playset of the Light Ray Diablos. This card is, again, not relevant for Harpies, but it's just a really cool card. Lastly, we'll grab a copy of Harpy Lady 2. I don't see a reason why not to eventually just get a playset of each of those, even though I know I'm not going to play them anytime soon. Maybe we get a format where there's flip effects, and I would want to play the flip effect Garnet instead of the gain 300 attack Garnet. And you never really know, so I guess prepare for the worst, expect the best. Here we have 6 more super rare tickets, and I've seen a couple cards that might actually be worth picking up, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to pick up my 3rd Red Eyes Insight. I'll pick up a playset of the Red Eyes Spirit. This comes up during the stage missions where you have to activate X amount of trap cards. And so I could tribute summon this and then play against one of the guys in the gate. I could play against like a level 20. If you do the level 10s, they summon all their monsters in attack, but if you play against a level 20, they'll summon the low attack ones in defense. And so you can just infinitely ram into their guys, search a trap, and then if you have to activate like 10 or 15 traps, you can do that in one duel, having access to this card and just constantly searching out the traps. I think this batch of super rare is going to be the last tickets that I open for now. This pack has a lot that I don't need, but a lot that I'm kind of interested in grabbing, actually, the more I look at it. I'm going to close off a playset of Flute Summoning Karibo. There could be metas where this card comes up and is decently relevant, and I believe I already have 2 Winged Karibo. So what that engine does is it just like prevents you from dying. So if you're playing a deck that can kill in a turn, but you need like a certain card or a certain scenario to occur, you could use this to stall for it. I used to play an Infernity deck, and The Infernity skill, I believe, could only be activated on your second turn or on turn 3 of the duel or something like that. But it would let you discard 2 from your hand to send 2 from your deck to the grave, which would then turn on all your Infernity plays. And you would use this card to stall to live that long. And so there could be a scenario like that comes up one day where I just want to be able to stay alive. And so I would play the engine. Probably not, but I'm going to grab it just in case. And then I'm going to grab one of these rituals just because. So I thought I was done acquiring or exchanging these tickets, but I found out that one of these has head judging in it, and I kind of want to give this card a try. So I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to check and see if this other one has it too, because they look like the same type of ticket. Traps. Let's see. Yes, it does. For you guys that don't know what this card does, it's a continuous trap. You can make a monster on the field, or when a monster on the field activates its effect, make the activating player toss a coin and call it. If they call it right, send this card to the graveyard. If they call it wrong, negate the effect's activation, and if you do, change control of that monster to their opponent. So this card is really cool because it's a continuous trap that I could just flip up. So at any point, it lets me trigger my ability to bounce a card with the Cyber Harpy Lady. But it also has a 50-50 of negating an effect and taking their card. So I'm going to get immediate value by getting the bounce off of my synchro. And then I also have a 50-50 at like just stealing the game. And so this card is kind of RNG based, but it could be insane when it resolves. So I want to give it a try. So here's the list that I'm about to hop into ranked with. It's kind of similar to the last one, but we've got a little bit better cards in the main and extra now. So we've got same Harpy lineup, 2 Oracle, 3 Chandler, 3 Perfumer, 1 Harpy Lady 1 Harpy Lady Cyber, and then 1 Field Spell, 1 Hysteric Sign, 1 Feather Rest, 2 Egotist, 2 Head Judging, 2 Regeki Break, and a Windstorm of Ategua. And then in the extra, we have 3 of the Synchro, 1 Kachi Kochi, the Cat Girl Magician, Daigusto Emerald, and Night Papal Operative. And we're also going to change our skill now to the Harpy's Hunting Ground skill. And this skill allows us to start the duel with Harpy's Hunting Ground on field, which if we go second, it is a guaranteed getting to clear all their back row. And if we go first, when we summon, we just destroy it, and then we'll try to get Oracle's effect to add it back on the end phase so that we can then clear their back row on our following turn and make a push for game. So I'm going to hop into ranked. I'm going to probably every 5 duels, I'll save any cool replays, and then I'll come like check in, go over any of the cool replays with you guys, and see how far up I can get. Alright guys, after grinding on the ladder, I got 6 different replays to show you. We're going to just start getting right into it with the first one. I originally said that I was going to do like 5 duels, and then I was going to come back and talk about any that were worth talking about, but I forgot that the quality of duels is kind of lackluster on the ladder to start. Like, I probably have played like 20 or 30 matches, and only 6 of them have I even got saved. And some of them aren't even like that crazy. It's just I needed something to showcase. So because like, I guess I'm going to continue to elaborate on it. I feel like on the ranked ladder, oftentimes in this ranking at least, you either like just kill them or you brick. And it's not that fun. I don't want to show 12 duels of me just doing the same Harpy combo and killing. So I was kind of hoping to showcase more of the grindier ones. And so this one is against Blue Eyes. And the guy starts off with normal summon Sage, search Whitestone, set 1 pass. And so I then kick off my turn by summoning Perfumer and activating Hunting Ground. And then I'm going to go Chain Link to Perfumer. And he's going to have an Ultimate Providence, which is going to discard his Whitestone, negate and destroy my Perfumer. Then he's going to get the Whitestone on the end phase. So he kind of really out-tempos me right here, because 1 proper negate, like a Ultimate Providence, just negates my deck's entire turn. There's no way for me to extend past that. And then he also manages to banish my field spell, leaving me with like nothing. And then he's going to get to synchro those away for the Spirit Dragon. Spirit Dragon hits for 25 and he sets a card. And this card is really hard to deal with too, because it tags out into Azure Eyes, which is another card that's very difficult for my deck to deal with. I can attack over them, but the Azure provides immunity to destruction for a turn, so I can't like really attack over it. I'm going to go Channeler, pitch, summon Perfumer, search the Egotist, and then synchro into Cyber Slash. Activate the Egotist. chain slash to bounce his set card. And here he's going to opt to chain his dragon to tag out. Tributes itself off. Summons out the Azure in defense. And so I resolve my special summon. And then I summon Oracle. Oracle's going to activate to add on the end phase. And then I make Cat Girl Magician, which is one of the newer cards we got. So it's kind of cool to get to see this card come out. And then I'm going to activate Feather Rest to put 3 back and draw 2. The cool thing about Feather Rest is it cuts you off to wins, but only for the rest of the turn. So since I made this first, I can do that just fine. And now I'm going to get to attack him directly with my Cat Girl. And here I opted just for this card because there's nothing else I could really make that generated me any advantage whatsoever. And this is just at least another threat that he has to prioritize. And because if not, it can just hit him a K again next turn. Which I guess he doesn't even have to prioritize, but I liked the card. So he's going to activate the effect of Azure Eyes Silver. And I chain my Head Judging, which whiffed. This card so far for me has been whiffing a good amount. It's definitely been more than 50%. So I don't even expect much when I activate it anymore, but this was an earlier duel, so I was still a little hopeful. He then normal summons a Whitestone, and he's going to Synchro Summon into Vermilion. He's going to use the Vermilion. Going to pop my guy, then swing over me for 25 into my 2K, and then swing at me for 27, and that's just game. I got destroyed by this guy. But what this duel has me considering now that I watch it a second time, one, the Head Judging. Like, if that would have been a trap card that did something, it would have been insane. And it depends on what the trap was, to be honest. But if it did anything more than nothing, it could have been better than doing nothing, you know? And although I could have also, instead of chaining it to Azure, chained it to Spirit Dragon, and then chained Cyber Slash to bounce the Spirit Dragon, so he couldn't have committed to another level 9 Synchro so easily. So making that play, it would depend on what extenders he had, if any, but there would be a good chance he would pass, and I'd have another turn to attempt to play, and his Azure would no longer be protected, so I could bounce it with my Cyber Slash. So that's another thing where at first I kind of blamed Head Judge in my head, but now that I think about it, I also could have played the turn more optimally. And then also, if that if that Cat Girl would have been a card like, what's it called? Steel Swarm Roach, then I could have been in a much stronger position also, because when he did attempt to go for that synchro play, I could have just negated it right then and there. And so he would have been forced to make some sort of different play to get around it, which most likely would have used the battle phase, so I'd have another turn again. So it gives me some insight into some cards that would be worth purchasing, and also gives me some insight into a better way I could have played my card. This next replay was a little more into my climbing through gold. As you saw, I'm gold 4 during this one. I think I was gold 1 or 2 during the last one. And who's going first? Let's see. So I'm starting. I opened a Head Judge, a Regeki Break, a Channeler, and a discard for Channeler. So this hand is pretty damn optimal for going first, if I do say so myself. Channeler is going to summon Perfumer. Sadly, I have to pop my field spell, but Perfumer is going to get me the rest. I'm going to Synchro into Cyber Slash, and we're going to get the draw 2. It's like really nice getting to just draw 2 cards. I draw a second Head Judge and an Egotist, so now I have an extender for my next turn and a third back row to try to guarantee he doesn't play this turn. The Super Heavy Samurai Flutist comes out. I think I should have just flipped Judge and bounced this Flutist. I was thinking that after the fact, because Flutist has an effect that when he's targeted, when a card is targeted you control, you can banish Flutist and negate the activation and destroy that card. And I didn't realize that, so I got my guy destroyed right here, and it put me in a really bad spot. He then special summoned out this Trumpeteer, and then synchroed into Swordmaster Musashi, I believe. Then he's going to activate Giga Gloves, which is going to add Trumpeteer back. He's going to special the Trumpeteer. He's going to synchro into Stealth Ninja. And then he's going to activate a card, Soul Beads from hand, that equips. And so I chain my Regeki Break here, 2 for 2ing with the Stealth Ninja and his beads. And then he's just going to special summon the Trumpeteer and declare an attack for 300. Well, it seemed a little sussy to like waste that card here and then also attack. And then he's going to get Stealth Ninja's effect, brings itself back. And here I go, summon Perfumer, add Egotist, activate Egotist, special summon. And I made another very questionable play here. One thing that has been kind of stinking is that you don't have much time to make your plays, and I have lost because I spent too much time thinking and time out. So this game kind of incentivizes speed, which in turn makes my plays less optimal, because if I'm against a deck like Super Heavy Samurai, where every card has a brick of text and I don't know what they do, I have to read every one, and if I don't have the time to do that, I skim, and if I skim, I don't get the effects right. So here I bounce his guy, but I believe I didn't attack. Yeah, I just passed because I read one of his cards and I thought it said if I attack a, let's pause real quick so I have time to read it now. Where is it? This card, I believe. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, I thought it had to attack a super heavy because I just skimmed the card really quick. But it's when they declare a direct attack. So it was actually the most ample opportunity for me to sink some damage in. Whenever I would direct attack, he can banish this card from the grave, excavate the top card. If it's if it's a super heavy samurai, he adds it to the hand, and the attacking monster's attack becomes 0. So this card is like a Kiteroid, I think that's its name, when it's engraved, but it also gives him a draw one. So the card's actually like really nuts. And it would have been super nice to punch over the Trumpeteer, but I just like didn't because I didn't have time to read the card. But now I know what it does in the future, and if I play this deck again, they're not going to have as much of a chance against me. At this point, I realize that it's fine to attack it, because even if it worked the way I thought it did, like I got to do it sometime. I can't just let him sit on guys forever. He's going to normal summon the Flute, activate Wall to equip, and then he just passes to me. I draw a Cyber Harpy, normal summon the Cyber, Harpy's Hunting Ground effect, target, and then Slash Lady, which the Slash Lady here is pretty decent. I go to attack. This is going to force out the Giga Gloves. But, so like right here, you see if I would have done the attack over the guy earlier, this attack going through would have just been lethal, and the game would be over because he would have already taken 25. But because that didn't happen, the game is going to continue to go on. When he takes damage, he gets a special. This dude, that's 300 attack, 21 defense. And then it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn. So this card's kind of like a Battle Fader. Or the Battle and Boxer Veil is a better comparison. It's an on-theme Veil. Then he's going to summon the Flutist. I'm going to chain Judging. And then again, I chain my Cyber Slash target, forgetting that this card's still engraved, so it can activate. And I did hit the Judging this time, which was pretty beneficial. But he also did get the negate to pop my guy. So I have a 0 attack monster, and that's about it. But he's going to attack for 300 and for 100, which I do not understand why he flipped this one to attack. Like, is 100 damage really worth it? And I just draw Perfumer on summon. I don't even activate the effect. I just swing right in. I think I was out of targets for the effect anyways. So, yeah, we cleared this guy. And I don't remember if we rank up or not. I don't know if it shows that. Let's find out. I guess, I don't know. I missed what rank it said that I was on this one, but this is the third duel. He gets a rank up if he wins. Nothing's in it for me except the pride of assuring he doesn't get a rank up. And it looks like I'm starting off. So I actually set the Hysteric sign. Normal summon Chandler. Field spell to pop the Hysteric sign. Chandler for Perfumer. Hunting Ground pop itself, and then Perfumer search. Gonna grab the Pot of Greed. Oh, actually, no, I forgot. I had to discard the Pot of Greed to her. I keep calling it Pot of Greed because I draw 2, but it's like actually a Pot of Avarice for the deck. But I'm going to get my Cyber Slash out. I'm going to bluff one by setting the Elegant Egotist, make him think I got some back row, and then end phase I get to search 3, grabbing a Channeler, the Field Spell, and an Oracle. And then we pass the turn to him. Looks like he's going to set a back row, reveal Blue Eyes to special summon out the alternative dragon. So, water break. So, alternative's going to come out. Alternative effect is going to pop my guy. Then he's going to use Ancient Rule, summon out a Blue Eyes. Overlays into Heliopolis. And this is where I was pretty, I actually don't know, right? So I set that card to bluff a back row, which kind of forced him to go into this play because he didn't want to attack into anything that could have destroyed his whole board. And he traded a card for my card, but his card is going to float. But he also went -1 to make an XYZ. And the alternative being on board was a problem because if I bounce it to hand, he can just banish this white stone to add a Blue Eyes back to hand. And then the alternative can just be specialed again. But now that it was overlaid, I can address the Blue Eyes and the alternative with one card. But because he was able to send this white stone, he's going to get the end phase effect to summon one out. So, like, I still have to deal with the same amount of threats, but I have one less card. So, like, in hindsight, maybe it wasn't worth it. I don't really know, but I guess let's just see how this duel goes from here. He's going to get his white stone effect to bring out a Blue Eyes. So I'm still up against 2 3K beaters, except one of them isn't alternative, so I don't have to worry about bouncing it. I'm going to play my Hunting Ground, summon out Channeler. Hunting Ground pop his set, which was a Karma Cut, which is dead because he has no cards in hand. Summon out Perfumer, proc Perfumer. Oh, maybe I didn't. I was out of targets, actually. Summon Cyber Slash. Activate Egotist. Chain the Lady, bounce. Summoning out. And then Oracle Effect special. Oracle Effect to add back on end phase. Then I'm going to make an Emerald and defense. Reason I went for this play is because I don't have anything in my extra deck that's a rank 4 that takes only 2 to out a Blue Eyes. And so I think it's safe to assume my Cyber Slash will die next turn. And I just wanted to make a play that would yield me an extra card, which the Emerald did. And then if he can't address both the Emerald and the Cyber Slash, it could get me a second card to help me try to out his board the next turn. So he's going to add the alternative back. But lucky for us, he did not draw Blue Eyes. So he just goes into combat, hits Cyber Slash, and the turn passes to me. I have 600 HP to his 4K. And I know he has alternative now, so if I bounce the Blue Eyes, I have to go for lethal that turn. I'm going to get to use Emerald one more time, shuffling 3 back, getting a draw, drawing into Windstorm of Ategua, and then I'm going to summon the Channeler out. Channeler effect, pitch, summon Perfumer, which is technically the wrong summon here. I should have summoned an Oracle in case like he had a hand trap, but that way the Oracle would add back. I kept like forgetting I was out of Perfumer targets. And so then I just set these Cyber Slash, set the Windstorm, set the Regeki Break. If I would have got Oracle here, I would have got an add back and the Regeki Break would be live. But he goes battle. I Windstorm, chain Slash to bounce his Blue Eyes. Because this, unless his back row is relevant, this should push for game the next turn. And I draw for turn and immediately Regeki Break his set and switch my guys to attack and he surrenders the duel. So that's another dub for us. So here we're rank 6 at this point, and we're playing against a guy that's rank 1, which I think it's kind of funny sometimes that you play that, because like rank 6, I'm almost out of the ranking, yet I'm playing someone that could have literally last duel came up from a silver. It's just a little odd to me, but I guess such is life. And I open up a Harpy Lady 1 and 3 back row. Luckily, he's going first, so I have a chance to draw an extra card, and we rip the Channeler. And we're playing the game. Summon Channeler. Ground is going to pop itself, but you know the drill here. Channeler effect, Perfume. But we grab Egotist here because Egotist is just... It turns this into like a one-card kill. Because we get to bounce his guy, summon out a Harpy, and then just hit him for game. Battle phase. We're going to still set 3 just in case. And the just in case came up because he had a Kite Roid. But my so he stops both of my attacks. And so I just pass the turn to him. But I have 3 interruptions, so I'm not really too worried here. He's going to set 2 pass, and I'm going to activate Judging, Chain, Cyber Slash, attempting to bounce his set monster back to hand, which resolves. And then he passes to me. Activates a Fiendish, targeting my Cyber Slash. And here's something that I don't think I see. I don't know if this would be an obvious play to people, but when my Cyber Slash gets either Fiendish chained, Floodgate Trap Hold, stuff like that, I've personally been liking chaining it to put it back in the extra deck so that it's not clogging up a space. Although with Fiendish, it would still be a in face-up attack position. It's still 2600 that they have to deal with. It stops me from being able to continue to commit as much as I'd like to the board. And so I'd kind of just like to put it back so I have the extra space. Like, I couldn't in this situation go like Chandler, for example, if I were to draw into a Chandler. Although I don't have a card to discard anyway, so like maybe it's not the right play, but I've been liking doing it. I hit him for 18. Pass the turn. He's going to just set another one. Pass to me again. And we draw Oracle. Activate Oracle effect. Synchro for the slash. And then flip head judging. It's instances like this where head judging has been paying its dividends to me. Like, I have missed all but I think 1 or 2 of the coin flips. But there have been a lot of instances where it's just a trap that you can activate at any point. And so it lets you Cyber Slash. And Cyber Slash is usually a strong enough interruption to carry you through the turn. And so that was another dub there. We're going to go second to last replay I got for y'all. We are gold rank 7 during this one. Our opponent's gold rank 3. And we're about to take off his head. At least hopefully. I don't remember if I win or lose this one. So it looks like he's starting the duel off. He's going to set some back row and probably just pass. Yeah, set 2 pass. And it is games like this where having the skill where you start with the field spell feels great. Like, I opened it here, but I don't even have to commit the card. I get to just summon my Oracle Pop. But as you see here, I don't have combo. I just summon Oracle, activate effect, and he has a Karma Cut to meet my Oracle. Even if he didn't, like, I wasn't extending past this, but I trade 2 for 1 with the Oracle, and then we're just going to set 1 pass. He's going to get to use the Galaxy Cyclone he discarded to pop my field spell. Then he activates the Hieratic Search card, grabbing Esset. He's going to summon Esset, tribute it out for the Sue, and then Esset's effect is going to summon a level 6 Vanilla. He's going to overlay into the XYZ, King of Atum. I miss when this card was relevant in real Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Atum. But he's going to activate the effect, summoning out a Dragon Spirit of White, which is a really cool card to play here. And then I'm going to chain, because he's going to banish my Ategua anyways, to switch that to attack and that to defense. And he's going to slap a Gaia Dragon on top of that, which was a really nice play for him to be able to make. He forced my back row. I put his guy to defense, and then he still gets to hit me direct. And then I draw for turn. Still not drawing playable, by the way. But we activate Field Spell. Normal summon a Harpy. And use the Hunting Ground to pop his set. And then I wonder why he didn't chain. Oh, he has Karma Cut engraved. He couldn't. So I swing in for 18. Bringing him down to 22. And passing the turn. Which, here we have to pray he doesn't top deck well. And he doesn't top deck well enough because he sets a back row against a deck that has the field spell up. So here we're feeling like we're in a decent spot. I draw a Regeki Break, which is huge. Normal summon the Oracle. Hunting Ground effect, pop his back row. Oracle effect, Chainlink 2 to add at the end phase. And he chains a Fiendish, which does kind of hurt here. I was hoping to resolve that. But I just set a Regeki Break, pass the turn. Here he's going to draw. I'm going to use my Regeki Break when he enters battle, pop his guy, and here we're just praying that we get to play the game off the top deck. And we don't. Draw head judging. Hit for 15 and pass, which might have been a misplay given where my life points are at. I probably should have just switched to defense. And then he goes Convocation, Search Tefnuit, Special Tef, Tribute for Sue, Tef effect, summon out the Dragon Spirit of White, banish my back row. I chain it. It's head judging. I try to take his guy. Like I said, head judging never resolves. And so he hits me for game. But I didn't realize this when watching that replay, but I probably should have just had Oracle in defense. But what do I really top deck in this scenario that gets me out of it? A Perfumer, actually. Perfumer gets me out. So that would have been the better play, because there's still 3 of in my deck that could have put me in a really good spot. And yeah, so we took an L there. Final duel I have for you guys today. Watch, I definitely need a sip of water real quick. I'm parched. This is a lot of talking. Gold 2 versus Gold 7. I think this is my rank up duel. If I win this, we go to plat. Yep, a rank up duel for both of us. Which, he's playing a 28 card deck, so makes me feel confident I'm ranking up. You know what I mean? I'm going first. I open playable, not the most optimal in the world. We're going to summon Perfumer. Field spell pops itself. Add the Egotist. Thing that kind of sucks about this hand is I opened the Feather Rest, but it's not live. Kind of sucks when that card isn't live, and especially when it's not live, then it's in your hand, not because it was searched. So it's like just a dead card until next turn. So I gotta hope that I survive a turn, and like I end up setting it as a bluff, and then I get Oracle's effect to add the field spell back. Again, I don't know if like this is a correct play. I don't know if you really want to be setting bluffs like this, especially cards that could change the tide of the duel on the next turn, but I don't want to let my opponent know that I not only have no back row, but in this deck, if I don't have back row, I don't have Cyber Slash. And I don't want to give them that information, so I'd rather them still have to play around the Cyber Slash. It looks like he's playing the Onomatopoeia deck, but he didn't open 2 optimal. He just summons an 1800 beater, sets 3 and passes. He punches my Oracle, passes the turn to me. Here I'm going to use Feather Rest, which is going to put 3 back. And then I'm going to activate Cyber Slash, which he chains a memory loss to. This card negates a monster effect, then moves a monster to defense, which we're fine with because I didn't change its battle position this turn, nor have I attacked yet. So I could switch the monster to attack when I'm ready to go for lethal. Then I activate Field Spell, summon Perfumer, pop a back row, searching Egotist and another Field Spell. Popping I don't even know how to pronounce this card, Gumashara. But I'm going to use my Egotist, summon out another guy, pop another back row. This card gives one monster he controls defense equal to its attack. Attack equal to its defense, which is literally terrible right now. His card has 100 defense, so I don't know why he plays a card like that, but it makes my life a lot easier. We're going to swing in, take 12 Duelist, and then swing in for 19 and 18. Eliminating this guy's life. And moving us out of gold and up to platinum, baby. I did not expect to be moving this fast, honestly. Which, given my rate of uploads, maybe it to you guys doesn't seem like it's as fast as it could be. I don't know, but a lot of the times, like this, for example, like I did all of gold just in a day right now playing with, and this deck list, I haven't changed it all since I did the profile earlier in the video. And I don't think it's that optimal of a deck list, to be honest, but we're still whooping these kids. And that concludes the episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Next episode, we will be spending that 3,800 gems I have there. I'm still not 100% sure what I plan on spending it on, so it's going to be a surprise to me and you. So thank you one last time, guys, for checking out the series. If you're interested, please like and subscribe so you can see more. I'll have the playlist linked down below. If for some reason you decided to start off with episode 4, you can go catch up. Take it easy.